UrbanBroadcastMedia.com, Chicago.
And around the world where your voice is heard. This is UBM Talk.
Join Dee Dee Azabor every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. for My Sister Talking as we discuss the issues and disparities of women in recovery. Plug in to hear about different experiences and success stories from people who have overcome the challenges of reconnecting with society, family, friends, and have repaved their path. Heal your own heart and spirit by joining the conversation with My Sister Talking every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on UBM Talk.
Hey everybody, check us out Monday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. for the new radio show Rated Life with
it's your boy Morris Spicer,
your boy Dex Pierce, Mrs. Just My Thoughts,
Pat Price,
and me, your girl Lex.
Lex, what are we gonna be talking about?
Everything is life, yes.
Wait, no, I ain't gonna do it.
Do it for Rated Life.
I ain't gonna do it.
Do it for Rated Life.
I ain't gonna do it.
Anyway, just make sure that you tune in to UBM Talk at UrbanBroadcastMedia.com and join our Rated Life Facebook page for more information. It's Rated Life, y'all.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zoe. I'm the host of the Hearts of Men Intimate Talk Hour, heard every Saturday at 5 o'clock on UBM Talk. This hour is designed to motivate, inspire, reclaim, encourage, and most of all, deliver the hurting hearts of all men. For more information, email us at theheartsofmen@gmail.com. And don't forget, follow us every Saturday at 5 p.m. on UBM Talk.
Hello, this is Reverend Rick McCain, and I'm here with my baby, my girl, my boo, author Brenda McCain, and we're the hosts of the Let's Stay Together show.
That's right, baby, where you learn the rhythms of all relationships. We are bringing Holy Ghost fun to the internet and changing the way people communicate about quiet storms within their lives. We believe that to know our glory, you have to know what, baby?
Our backstory.
So come and take a ride on the McCain train every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. Woo, woo!
The following show is paid programming and does not necessarily express the views and opinions of Urban Broadcast Media and its subsidiaries.
Thank you for listening to UBM Talk.
Good evening and welcome to the Let's Stay Together show. I'm your host, Reverend Rick McCain, here with my baby, my girl, my boo, author Brenda McCain, and we're bringing you the Let's Stay Together show. What's up, baby?
Hey, baby.
How you doing, girl?
I'm learning new things.
Hey, tell them a little bit about who we are.
Let's see. Who are we? I am Reverend McCain's wife, Brenda McCain. We've been married for 20 years. From the good, the bad, the ugly, the sweet, we are let's staying together, right?
That's right. And you know, one of the things we want to let you all know is as that music is playing, hey, let it play. We do things crazy around here. One of the things we want to let you all know about us is that to know our glory, you've got to know our backstory. And one of the things that we do here is that we talk about things that the church feels as taboo or that's not being talked out in the community at all. So we want to talk about things that you want to talk about, that you want to hear. So Let's Stay Together is not just about relationships of husband and wife. It's about sister and brother. It's about man and wife. It could be about
teacher
and student. It could be about anything. And so what we wanted to do is bring an avenue for people to talk about issues and situations that maybe the church ain't talking about, maybe the community ain't talking about, but we're going to make sure it's talked about here. So, baby, what are we going to be talking about today? Tell them about today's subject.
It's a hot one. Very hot.
Yes, it is.
Youth violence, a summer of fun or fear.
Yes.
Who decides is the question for tonight. Do you want me to keep going, baby?
Yes, I do, girlfriend.
Okay, I'm going to do my little spiel.
You
Thank
do
you
your
for
thing.
joining the McCain train on our debut show at our new home, UBM. We are excited and elated to bring you a powerful topic tonight. Youth violence, a summer of fun or fear, who decides? Let's face it, our children and youth wait all year long to enjoy their summer vacation. However, youth violence is so high here in Chicago that our children are in fear of having fun. Sadly, we made international breaking news here in Chicago again. A total of 67 shootings and 11 people were killed over the holiday weekend. The bloodbath has to stop.
Has to stop.
Please put the guns down. If one person complete that statement to truth, I wish it could be done for the sake of putting our children first. So you ready for us to introduce this dynamic guest on our train tonight?
Do your thing, girl.
Okay, I got Shango to my left, Shango D. Johnson, a community affairs specialist, interpreter for Ceasefire Inglewood Violence Prevention Program, male mentor coordinator for iGrow Chicago, and yes, a Sunday school teacher.
Yes,
he is all of that. We have the lovely, beautiful Nina Monique Thomas. Nina motivates, a CEO, speaker, author, teacher. Author, woo-woo! Teacher, life breakthrough coach, and mentor. And we have Mr. Chris Johnson, the entrepreneur from On My Own Talk Radio and author of From Resume to Interview, the guide to employment training, who loves working with the city youth and inspiring ideas in them for a better future. Now, before we go on and get in depth, we're going to take it to the word as always.
Always here.
We're going to do Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he would not depart from it. Everybody should know that scripture. Proverbs 20:11 says, even a child is known by his doings, whether his work be pure and whether it be right. And lastly, Colossians 3:20, children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well-pleasing unto the Lord. And I'm going to give it that call-out number before we go right into it. Look at this call-out number, call-in number, 312-754-4333.
You got that right.
I
say
got
it again,
that right.
since it looked like you had a little bit of a pause.
Because I'm so
there.
used to
Come
so
on,
many
now.
numbers.
I know, but say that number one more time so our audience can know.
312-754-4333. How about that?
Hey, you all, we just bringing it live here, and we've got our guests here that I'm going to be talking to about. But you know what? We were going through some situations ourselves, and I'm talking to our guests here. Over the week, we had our lights was out for a whole week. From Monday to Friday, our lights was out. And then all of a sudden, when we finally got our lights on, after ComEd told us so many times, I ain't said nothing about ComEd, but they told me so many times that they're going to have the lights on, we finally got the lights on about Friday, about somewhere between 4 and 5 o'clock. Then when we got home, our cable and internet wasn't working. And so all of a sudden, they had to wait another day to get the cable and internet going. I'm going in with a story now, if y'all just follow me. What happened was the electricity came into the house and blew the cable wire out where the filter was at, and it burned it out. And it messed it up so much they had to come into the house and be able to fix it. Now, I thought that was a huge problem until I looked and saw the situation that's been happening in Chicago. It's amazing how we think that so many things is a problem in our lives, and then we find out within a span of maybe 13 hours between Thursday, from Thursday evening to Monday, they had 82 people got shot and 15 was fatally wounded. What's happening in Chicago? We need to do something to help our youth. So I'm going to go to my boy over here, Shango, and say, Shango, man, what's going on? What's happening in Chicago where we're having so much violence in here that Chicago's violence and homicide rate is more than New York, and they're 2 times bigger than us. What's happening in the city of Chicago?
Well, like I always told you, this violence is like a disease and it's spreading. And this violence is not being contained. This violence is not being really looked at the way it should be. And most of the problems that have went on, it has been interpersonal and there have been altercations. And they have stopped the violence, did a great job when it was gang because you knew where it was at. And you knew where the hot spots was at. But now it's happening everywhere. It's happening at barbecues. It's happening in the park. It's happening off work. It's happening everywhere. So no one has a real hand on it or a pulse on it. And at the same time, situation that we've been thinking about so much, and to us we've been promoting so much, is steady coming back to us because every time we do have the solution is starting to work, we never promote that and we never execute that to its full potential. And so when the 80 shootings went up and everything, we all knew what was going to happen. And so my thing is prayers and condolence out to all those who did get shot and the family who's had to go through that. But it's a disease, Reverend McCain, and it's spreading.
Hey, well, let me ask you this, man. Chicago was happy. They were happy to report that in 6 months, there was only 172 murders in 6 months. And then all of a sudden, within a span of a couple of days, they had 80 shootings. And they say that this time around July is one of the most deadliest times that they have. Now, I know it's because it's warmer outside, but Chris, talk to me for a second, man. Get that mic. Why is it that right around this time we seem to want to be a little bit more excited about using things that we shouldn't be using? I'm going to put it that way.
Well, I think that it's because of idle hands. As I said before, I definitely believe idle hands are the devil's playground. And I've seen just the youth in my neighborhood, as soon as school got out, kids were everywhere, as they should be, playing and running around. But what I also saw or didn't see was the parenting. I didn't see kids coming in at a reasonable time. I saw kids moving in droves and in packs into different areas. You know, I saw kids who were, and I mean kids, 10 and under, running around. No guidance anywhere, just going and.
Okay, but Chris, come on. Now, we used to do that ourselves, though. I mean, when we were younger, I mean, you're a little bit, you kind of like older than I am, because I'm the oldest person in the room. But right. you remember when we were kids, we would run around everywhere. We didn't have to worry about getting shot. We didn't have to worry about that. You may have had a fight that you had to run away from, but there seems to be a pyramidal shift where now you've got to be afraid just sitting on your porch. I mean, maybe we were naive. Maybe we were just a little bit naive that it wasn't. But I never, at the times when I was a teenager or a kid, ever worried about that. Why do we have to worry about it now?
I think that we have to worry about it now because it is just a sign of the times. It's not an excuse, but it's definitely a reality. And for us, running around and riding our bikes and things in the neighborhood, there was a difference. There was something that was missing. That neighbor will come out the house and say, hey, boy, what are you doing?
Right. Well, that's my cue to jump right on in. And I was going to direct it towards Nina on the woman's perspective. Just recently, in this past weekend, I was on my mom's porch. And I noticed someone with 3 little kids sitting on the phone, female, little kids all under probably 5 years old. She getting it in on the phone, talking, doing whatever. Her baby runs out in the middle of the street. So I hop off my porch, my mom's porch, and I run over there to grab the baby. She looking at me and mad at me. And I'm like, wait a minute now. I'm trying to save your child because you have to get off the phone. You upset with me, and y'all know me. I'm trying to be a lady.
Yeah, we want UBM to know you as well too. But here's the fact. Here's the fact of the matter. People are afraid to do that though now. Okay, we got an open session. Y'all know how we do things here. People are afraid to do that now. I'm afraid to tell you. To get your kids, because you might come and shoot me.
Yeah.
You know, back then, if somebody on the neighborhood said something to you, you had to be afraid of what she was going to do to you and your mama and daddy. Now you can say something to that little boy, and we're afraid to do that. Where did we lose? And Shane, I'm going to go back to you, man. Where did we lose the, as Marvin Gaye say, what's going on? Brother. Yeah, I can sing, Gal, but I'm not going to do it right now. Where did we lose the fact that we could talk to each other and share with each other and say, hey, watch your child, and the person says thank you, not just saying the other you?
I got that, too.
Well, yes, it's no you and I no more. It's no unity. And like you said, the 40s and the 30s, we are the ones in control. And most of the things that's happening is the kids is getting into it, and then when your child come home, he's telling you what a parent then called them. And then instead of you directing another way, you go and, say something to that parent, and then one word lead to another. So you got grown people calling people to go get somebody. So that's most of the things that is going on. And so it's just like you said, it's about training up a child.
It is.
Most of the violence going on, you have 14-year-olds, 16-year-olds getting shot by police and everything. So it leads right back to us not really training our children up.
Okay. Well, Shango speaking the word here before I let Chris speak his word. This is UBM Talk on urbanbroadcastmedia.com. Call us at 312-754-4333. Download the Free Streams radio app and search for UBM Talk. Go ahead, Chris.
Wait a minute, Chris. I'm gonna stop you for 1 second because I want to challenge some people out there right now. I don't care if you're a gang member, former gang member, had some situations, stuff like that. Call in right now. We need to start talking about this and get to a point where we're talking about it so much that we're forcing the community, we're forcing the police, we're forcing ourselves to deal with this subject. Baby, give them that telephone one more time because I want you all to call in so we can talk about this thing.
312-754-4333.
All right, Chris, go ahead, man.
And I was going to interject and add on, too, when we were talking about not discussing things with the youth, because I will say this, it has to be done in love. And as Sister McCain did, she did it in love. She jumped out there for that child in love. Regardless of how people react to it, it does have to be done in love. I was sitting on my porch last weekend with my young son who's 6 months old, and I'm sitting there with him, and then two young men came up, and they were probably about 13, 14, and one of them walked up and wanted to know, could he cut my grass? So we got into a discussion about, cutting my grass. I was trying to teach him some business savvy because he wanted to charge me $50. So I was teaching him market rate and things like that. But anyway, so his partner walks up, and he's cutting straight through my grass. And I don't know if this is a Chicago thing or if it's an ethnic thing, but we got issues with people walking. And my mother told me, you don't walk through grass, you don't cut. So the kid's cutting through my grass, and I'm looking at him, and I said, hey, that's rule number one. If you're going to be a businessman, you don't walk through grass, you don't cut. And he just sits down on my porch. He said, hey, what's up? Okay, well, let's talk. And I didn't acknowledge, I didn't go through all the things he did wrong. Mm-hmm. I just started to educate him on, hey, if this is a business you want, present yourself well, blah, blah, blah. I gave him a copy of the book. And I did these things in love, trying to plant some seeds. So now I know their names. So now I have a relationship with them. So if I see them in the neighborhood doing something, I can walk up and say their names.
Right.
And say something to them instead of just being in the house in the window and then jumping out saying, hey, kid, don't do that.
Hey, but wasn't it, I don't know, again, I'm saying I'm old, but wasn't that usually what Officer Friendly used to do?
What
happened to the part where Officer Friendly, go ahead, I'm going to have Nina talk here. What happened to the point where the officer would come to the school and talk to you and be on the corner? Now, I love the police. Chicago police are doing their best. I'm not going to sit there and say that they're not, because I would not want to be a policeman in Chicago. I don't want to be a policeman at all, by the way. But a policeman in Chicago, we don't give them enough credit for what they do. Now, there's a lot of them, and we've talked to them, my wife has talked to them, that really want to be involved in a situation, and they want to be a part of it. But like Manuel had said, it's senseless, and this is unacceptable, and they can't do it alone, But they've got to be a force up there. But what happened to the force of Officer Friendly being in the school, talking to the people, letting them know who they was, and could call out, say, hey, Chris, don't do that. Nina, what happened to the point where we took not only the Bible out of the church, God forbid, but we took out authority out of I shouldn't say Bible out of the church. Let me digress. The Bible out of the schools. Now we have authority out of the school. What happened to that?
Well, some of the things that I see is that people just stop doing. Now they're allowing, and I'm not going to blame, like you said, the school board either, but they're allowing people that really don't care more so into the schools than people who don't. And I was sharing with someone, I loved the Teach for America program, but I noticed that a lot of those people that applied for those positions didn't go to school for teaching and wanted a job really quick. So now you have a mixture of teachers that don't care, a mixture of security guards that's doing more for them in a negative sense than you do in a positive sense. So that kind of pushes all of the good people out of the schools. And then you have the people that want to be in the schools, that want to make a difference, that want to do something, that they're given a hard time to even come in. A lot of the schools are now, shutting down things, locking things up. You can go into schools and offer your help, and a lot of times they're not receiving you. Mm-hmm. But if you have a known name and you this big person, then you can come in. But what about the people that want to come in, that want to help, that haven't made a big name for themselves yet? So it shouldn't be about, I think that's one of the problems, it's about you having a name or who you know. But guess what? If I have all this knowledge and education and I'm willing to spread it to a young person or to the kids, then it should be an open door policy for that, especially if you can run the background checks and do all this and do all of that. Let that person in to help you. Some people are not all about money. They want to come in and help, and now everything is about money. So that's another problem. If it's not about money, the programs, I don't hear the DARE program coming to the school no more or things like that. what happened to them, I have no idea. But we need to get back to some things of the old.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. We need to get back to some things of the old. And I'm 32, so I'm still young. But at the same time, I value things that happened before my time because I saw how different it was back then. And if we have more people my age and younger, because now you have babies having babies, and that's the biggest problems because they're having babies, they're sending them to school. And, of course, Officer Friendly ain't finna come up to the school because the mama gonna act a fool or the daddy gonna act a fool if they come up there and try to tell the child something right. So therefore they stay away.
Hey, before Shane jumps in, I just want to say this to on both ends with ceasefire individuals. It's great that people do have the education behind them, but the ones who don't have the education, the paper, but have the heart to get in there and do what they need to do, my head go off. Well, my earpiece goes off to them because it's all about the heart. No matter how many acronyms in front of your name or behind your name, if your heart is not in it, it's not going to be in it. And last thing I want to say in regards to that, Shango, do your thing. That's what I want to say because what you just showed me was just devastating. I'm like, that's a beautiful devastation. So talk to the people with what I just witnessed.
First, I don't never do. I don't give shots out to my family, Ceasefire, and my other family, Agro, and my beautiful wife, Cameron.
Hey, beautiful.
And, lately, I have been hearing that a lot of people have been trying to tell the youth story in different inner cities, especially in Inglewood. So I market an area where I patrol like 59th to 74th between Loomis, Ogden Park to the Viaduct. And what I have been doing is I've been mentoring and everything. And so I started talking to the youth, talking to the brothers, like you said, getting to know them. And so to cut through the chase, I started doing what you call a statistic. And out of it, I have in my hand over three, four papers with young people names between 16 years old and 26 years old that say, Shango, I need a job. Shango, I want to work. I want a chance. I have some that's challenging me and telling me that if I could get that chance and if I can get hired on Monday, Tuesday I quit. Tuesday I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. I have several young men that I've had to walk down the street who have started crying and telling me stories. And right now, lastly, I'm on 64th and Honorary working with Agro where I have 12 tremendous young men with the age between 18 and 22, and they're working through a summer program. And we're building a farm. We're building a home, rehabbing it. We're doing mentoring. We're doing yoga. And out of them 11 young men, I have had them in 2 weeks. And I have had altercations with a couple of them where we haven't seen eye to eye. I have had some of them have listened. I have had some of them that have, denied. But at the same time, we all have learned. And we all growing up together. And every day I look forward between 8:30 and 1 o'clock, spending time with them young men, teaching them and at the same time learning them. And through the Agro program, Robin, Tamika, and Andreas and them, I just thank God for people like you say that is rolling up their sleeves and that's out there. And these young men and this youth, they have a voice, y'all. And I thank, Red McCain for even letting me stop for a minute to even say this, that I have a list of children, young brothers and sisters who say they want to work, and I'm watching them work. These 11, 12 young men work fabulous. We have 3-4 young ladies that work with a summer camp that we have, where we cut the block off, and we made our own summer camp. We made our own workforce program. And we on 64th and Honorary, and some of the guys that are still on the block, about 70% of them have walked up to me, and they want to have a job. So if they can see it, they can believe it. If they can believe it, then they can achieve it.
And I'm gonna say this to you, Shango, because I'm gonna be the voice. Y'all know me. Sometimes I'm a devil advocate. We've had our show before. This is our first time on UBM, but this is not our first time talking about it. I'm gonna say this, for the people. Okay, they ain't got no job. That don't mean they should be killing each other. Exactly. That don't mean because you ain't got a job don't mean you should kill somebody. Because you ain't got a job don't mean that you have to be somebody bad or tough or something like that. Sometimes it's good to be an entrepreneur and make a job. What's wrong with washing those windows to get you a couple of dollars or something like that? You ain't got to kill yourselves in order just to say, I ain't got a job. I know that the city should provide jobs for us, but the city didn't provide jobs for us back in the day either. We didn't kill each other. So I need to talk about, we're going to be keeping it real here now. I don't know what y'all looking for anywhere else, but we're going to keep it real here. What do we do because we ain't got no jobs or they're not providing the jobs? what do we tell our young people that you can't use that as the only reason that you're not doing something? Life is more important than the job. So what do we tell them?
Reverend McCain, exactly how you said it. The main thing is that through that we have to change the behavior and change their social norm. And every day, like you said, Reverend McCain, them young men is out there working. They'll tell you, I never look at their performance. I look at their attitude and how their mind is transforming. Because like you said, just as well as any young man can get a job and they shouldn't be killing, anyone can go to church and hold a Bible and say hallelujah. But it's the transformation of the life and what you are doing. So not only with the jobs, we teaching them the life skills of understanding that you have to teach one, but at the same time as reaching one, you have to care first.
Talk to me, Chris.
Definitely. And I was going to say, too, that if we've already talked about how some of the young people aren't being parented in a positive way, I'll say. That's right, Chris. Then it does take for people or individuals like ourselves to go out there and parent, if you will. And I don't mean parent is saying, hey, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. But like Shango said, I'm out there, I'm walking, I'm talking. And I've seen that before where just because here's the thing. If in a normal, quote unquote, normal household, if the parent was there, the kid was doing something wrong, the parent would say, that's wrong, let me show you how to do this right. If that's not happening in the house, then it is on the community to do it outside the house. When I see it happening, let me address it in the same way as if you were my child. I wouldn't just run up yelling at you saying, hey, don't do that, unless you were doing something you know. But but I would walk up and say, hey, what's going on here? Let me show you this. Let me show you that. Let me teach you how to do this. And I've seen them, some of them, it doesn't happen all the time. It does, some people just have hardened hearts. But the thing is, you won't know from the outside. We won't know from the outside. We won't know till we talk to them. And then they say, like, man, this guy was walking with his pants down, blah, blah, blah. He looked like he's going to shoot me. But as soon as I talked to him, he said, man, I really needed that. Amen. And it's a totally different person after that. So we do have to get out there. We can't keep putting it on the city. We can't keep putting it on the police. It's a community effort. No matter what neighborhood you go to, it is a community effort. And if we don't acknowledge our community, we're going to lose our community.
I agree.
Hey, just before we go on, I want you people to call in now. The number is 312-754-4333. This is a subject we got to talk about. I'm going to give you the number one more time. I need somebody who really has a passion about what's going on. You ain't got to live in Chicago. You can live in New York. You can live in Rochester, New York, or some Peabody, Michigan. I don't care where you live at. 312-754-4333. Call into this number because this is a subject we got to talk about. Hey, I think we got maybe about 2 more minutes, baby.
Yeah.
Go to that question, and then we're going to
I'm going to go to the correct intro.
Go to the correct intro. Okay, do that, girl.
Because I'm supposed to introduce my guests, my wonderful guests on the McCain Train tonight are trailblazers making some major moves and assisting with our children and youth for a brighter future. Their success stories may be overshadowed and dimmed by the violence in Chicago. However, they are Chicago's finest and are unsung heroes and heroines that are making a big difference in a child's life. Again, is Christopher, Nina, and Shango.
So who was that? Was that the police officer he was talking about?
This is 3 people I just
No, but what about that?
Okay, and shout out to District 5 Chicago Police with Sergeant Herbert Brown and his crew. 2 weeks ago, they took the youth out fishing. Can you believe that? Fishing. They taught the girls and the boys how to fish. And I mean, for the girls, that's shocking, but they taught them how to fish, and they had a great time. And we was teasing them because he took them to the Calumet River area over there. No bodies was found. Just live bodies fishing. So it was all good. But that leads me to that first question. Y'all going to marinate on that before we answer that when we come back from break. What programs are you involved with helping the children youth this summer and year-round? I know you share some of yours, but you're going to come back with it. Nina going to give us hers, and Christopher, you're going to give me yours. So y'all marinate on that. So
and we got about 1 minute left. Hey, I want you to talk to that girl real quick that helped us out with the shoes. What's her name? Her name
Sharon.
Is Sharon. Hey, Sharon.
Put me on the spot.
Sharon. I see he's wrapping us up. I can hear the music. I told y'all we crazy over here. Hey, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to have a couple of commercials come on right now. Hey, you're listening to the Let's Stay Together show, and we're talking about youth violence, fun or fear. Who decides? We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Tune in to City Life on UBM Talk, representing urban life, our city, our people, one love, with commentary by Nina D and CJ. Your pathway to insight, awareness, and unity. The heart of City Life. Tune in Thursdays 8 to 9 on UBM Talk. That's City Life, Thursdays 8 to 9 on UBM Talk. Let's get it.
My name is Coach Thomas. I am a fitness, health, and nutrition coach and member of the Illinois Governor's Council on Health and Physical Fitness. Make sure you check out Change for the Better with Coach Thomas Sunday nights from 7 to 8 p.m. We will discuss topics and feature guests that will give you helpful tips and advice on how to create healthier habits that will lead to a healthier lifestyle. Make sure you check out Change for the Better with Coach Thomas, where we focus on healthy kids and healthy communities.
Tune in to Change for the Better with Coach Thomas, Sundays 7 to 8 p.m. only on Urban Broadcast Media.
Hello, this is Leon Finney, your host of Another Perspective on UrbanBroadcastMedia.com. We are the voice of Black America. Join me and my guests every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. as we discuss the issues that impact Black America. Tune in to UBM Talk on UrbanBroadcastMedia.com, the simulcast on our affiliate station WBON 1690 AM. That's Another Perspective every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. And you can run and tell that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zoe. I'm the host of the Hearts of Men Intimate Talk Hour, heard every Saturday at 5 o'clock on UBM Talk. This hour is designed to motivate, inspire, reclaim, encourage, and most of all, deliver the hurting hearts of all men. For more information, email us at theheartsofmen@gmail.com. And don't forget, follow us every Saturday at 5 p.m. on UBM Talk.
Hi, I'm Harold Arnold, real estate broker. Are you planning to buy or sell a home or another type of real estate in the near future? Join me on my program. First-time buyer, investor, or seller, or you want more information on the status of today's real estate? Let's talk about it Sunday evenings from 8 to 9 p.m. on Urban Broadcast Media.
Urban Broadcast Media, proudly broadcasting from studios located in the Bronzeville community in the city of Chicago. Heard around the world at urbanbroadcastmedia.com. UBM Talk, servicing the community and beyond.
Hey, we're back. This is Reverend Rick McCain along with my baby, my girl, my boo. Hey, baby. Author Brittany McCain, and we're back on the second half of the Let's Stay Together show talking about youth violence, a summer of fun or fear. Who decides? Baby, go ahead.
Hey, we got some trailblazers in the house over here at our new home at UBM. My question that I left off with was, what programs are you involved with helping the children, youth, this summer and year-round? So we heard from Shango, but we're going to go back to him, but we're going to start with ladies first. Miss Nina, tell us what you are doing with the youth.
Well, I'm so glad you asked. I have a not-for-profit organization called Touch, which stands for Touching Others Using Christ's Help. And one of the biggest things I think is lost is Christ, is love, is the real thing. And so Touch is now, we're not waiting on grants, we're not waiting on funding, we're just kicking our programs off. August 2nd, we will begin both of our programs. I'm going to let Chris talk about the boy program, but I'll talk about the girl program, which is called Junior Lady in Waiting. Our 3 core values in Junior Lady in Waiting is purity. Yes, we are teaching the girls it's okay to save yourself.
Amen.
The second core value is self-worth. And the third core value is leadership in a proper way, because we want these girls to have a respect like they've never had before. Because if you have a respect for yourself, you're not out here hating on nobody else, because you love you, and it's easier to love others when you love yourself, and you can't do it if you don't. And then with purity, guess what? A lot of these violence and killings and all this and all that and jumping on people is because of a boy, because who's sleeping with whose boyfriend, and they're 12 and 13 years old. But if they ain't giving it up, they don't have to worry about that.
Amen.
So we want to bring those values back, and I'm on that journey with them too. I've been practicing celibacy for going on 4 years now. So just to let them know it's not just something I'm pushing down their throat, but it's something that I'm showing them as well. So they can get involved. We are accepting 12 12 girls for the program, and they can get involved by emailing us at touch@ninamotivatesyou.com, and we'll get the applications out to the parents, and we just want to help. And the program is free. If people want to donate, they can donate. They can do what they can, but we're not going to let funding stop us from moving forward.
Okay.
Hey, just before we go, I know we had a call from you, Kyra. Call in again one more time, and we'll get you in there. Nina, I'm gonna be a young lady for a second.
Okay.
I'm not gonna change my voice, but this is what I want to say to you. I want to know? I heard all that. It sounds good, girl. How can you help me? I'm a young teenager. I'm struggling. Nobody's there for me. I heard you talking about all the encouragement and stuff like that. That sounds real good, but I've heard it before. Mm-hmm. Tell me something that's going to make me want to reach out to you.
I'm going to be there for you. We have month-to-month meetings. We will meet once a month face-to-face as a group. Then you'll have one-on-one mentoring with me every month. We'll be doing trips, community service. Matter of fact, on August 2nd, when we meet for the first time that evening, because we're making it an all-day thing, we're going to go to the play that's going to be advertised in a minute. We're going to spend time together. It's not just going to be you're a part of a program. I see you today, later, tomorrow, whatever. I'm also going to be going up to the schools. I have to see the grades. I'm going to be a part of your life. If you didn't have a big sister, you'll have a big sister now.
Amen. But how do they get in contact with you, Nina?
They can call me at 1-800-471-0531 and press 2, and you'll get me directly. Or you can email me at touch@ninamotivatesyou.com, just the letter U, not Y-O-U. Or you can go directly to ninamotivatesyou.com and get all of my information. But again, the number is 1-800-471-0531 and press option 2.
Hey, Chris, I want you to talk a little bit about what you're doing. Hey, Kyra, we know you're out there. Give us a few minutes. We'll get right to you. Chris, tell us about what you're doing with the program for the men.
Well, what I'm doing in the program is called Leader by Touch. And ours is based upon the scripture that the Lord led me to is, do not let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in life, in love, in faith, and in purity. And that's 1 Timothy 4:12. And so what we're doing, we're touching on those things, the speech, life, love, faith, purity. Those are going to be our core values that we're going to work on with the young men. And the mission is to put men back into the leadership roles, into their ordained roles as leaders. Because what is part of the problem is that young men, older men, but it usually starts younger. You got to work with the next generation. They don't know where they're supposed to be. So therefore, they're acting out in ways that they shouldn't. And before Reverend McCain can give me the young man voice to say, well, should I listen to you?
I'm going to do it.
Okay, go ahead and do it.
Why should I listen to you?
That ain't no
Mr.
man
Christian?
voice.
Well, he's wavering. He don't know what
Okay,
he
no. That's another show.
Oh.
Stay with the show, okay? It's another
well, you
show.
do the young voice thing.
Okay. Why should I listen to you? Because I'm a teenager. Why should I listen to you, Mr. Chris?
Because for one, we're going to be applying similar things as Nina about being there. It's still going to be the same meetings once a month at different times. They're not going to intermingle. These are going to be separate things. They're going to be male issues. There'll be no females around. And I'm going to teach what the Lord taught me. I was not raised by my father. I was raised by my mother. Everything I learned about being a man, I actually learned from the Bible.
Amen.
I literally learned it from the Bible.
Hey,
I will read it and go,
the
my goodness,
book.
that's what I'm supposed to do. So I am teaching as I was taught.
Right.
So I'm teaching from experience.
Hey, we've got Kyra on the front. It's a LJ. How do you say her last name? Say the
Kara
name, girl.
Aljo.
Hey, there you go. Thank you. You know, I keep on telling we just do things real around here. So, hey, Kyra, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you all tonight?
We're doing great. Hey, honey, add some things to this situation we're talking about the youth violence, fun or fear. Who decides? What do you think about what's going on in Chicago and how it's affecting our youth?
I think that no one has one true solution to the issue that we're dealing with here in Chicago with violence. But I do think that everyone needs to do their part the best that they can in order to make a huge impact. One thing that we're trying to do with students in South Suburbs is work with them through the arts. We have what we call an Inspire campaign, and it's a conflict resolution program where we have internships with students where they get to learn about the art, theater, performance, as well as have round discussions, candid round discussions where they get to talk about the violence and things like that their way, their style. And we've had a lot of success with it. We've got a lot of kids that are doing things productive during the summer with their time where they're able to use it in a productive way. And I think that that's one thing that we can all agree on, that the individuals that are keeping the violence going, that are involved in the violence, they're not in any productive organization doing anything with their life in a constructive way. So the most important thing, I think, is for us to get the kids to really be productive in something where they can use not only their voice, but their intellect to communicate with each other. Kids don't communicate anymore.
And, it's great. So, Kyra, we was talking about the situation, and we're going to start talking again as a group. We was talking about the situation, and I know my baby got another question she wants to ask there. So, baby, throw out your next question so we can all talk about that.
Okay, well, let's see. The next question. Kyra, you still on the line, right?
I sure am.
Okay, the next question is, let's be honest, firearms on the streets are not bought legally. So a criminal back check is not needed. So how can we keep guns out of dangerous hands? Anybody?
Come on, y'all. Talk to me. Jump in. Somebody. Shango, talk to me, man.
Ooh, that sounds like a gunshot. Bam.
Talk to me, Shango.
Like she said, the thing is that guns it used to be where guns was just only in dangerous people's hands. Right. But when you think about 13 and 14 and 15 and 16-year-olds about guns, I mean, like she said earlier, it's the young lady on the phone. There's really no answer. I mean, with this gun problem and everything, the thing is that what I do is I stick to what I am an expert in. And one thing I know how to stop the guns coming in and how to stop them from buying them is one thing I don't deal with. And so only thing I do is try to let them know that going that way is not the right way. So with the gun things, Chris probably can.
Well, I too don't have an answer for about how to stop them from getting the guns, but I had a similar conversation about guns with a gun enthusiast. And, they're always, guns don't kill people. People with guns kill people. And that's the point. You can't. So I agree with Sean on that one. You have to deal with the individual, because I remember being younger and a friend of mine got his uncle's gun that was in the house, obviously somewhere that was accessible. And he was playing around with it around me, but my mother raised me in such a way where I said, hey, man, look, I'm leaving the house until you put that thing away. And if we teach them to do that, to get away from the gun, then the gun wouldn't be. I think that's actually putting the issue somewhere that it can't be. If we focus where it can be solved on the individuals when they're around guns, that's something that can actually be touched on and attacked. But the gun itself, I think that's a distraction.
I think we have to get them to not desire the gun, because if they love themselves, if they love life, they're not going to be trying to get around no gun. They don't want to accidentally get shot. They don't want to accidentally shoot nobody else. We have to start with the individual and get them to value life. Because if you value life, me personally, I don't need a gun around me right now because I don't want no accidents happening around me because I value my life.
But Nina, the media painted so good that it's cool to have a gun. I mean, everybody have a 10-year-old can have a gun. I'm cool because I'm toting a gun around. I could show you how to use a gun. I'm only 10. So, I mean, my life is young, and then you know how old you are. I ain't broadcasting your age, but, I mean, they make it so happening now that you're not cool if you don't have a gun.
I need more people that value things and think what I think to say, let's go, let's do something different. Let's not have that way. Like I said, I'm standing up for purity. I have grown men my age that's looking at me like, girl, why you making such a drastic decision and this, and that, and I'm not allowing that to sway me. So I'm one of them people that's willing to tell them a gun is not cool. This is what's cool. Being a leader as a young man, being a young lady, having respect for yourself, loving yourself and loving life and living abundantly and finding out what that is, that's what I'm pushing. And so, yeah, the media could push all they want to push, but I guarantee you it's going to be a day because if enough of us stand up and say this and feel this way and put on programs and throw things and keep going forth, a change will happen because a change can happen. It's up to us to keep pushing forth, and it will.
Hey, let me say this much. This is what one of my favorite people says, Dr. Martin Luther King. He says, darkness can't drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate can't drive out hate. Only love can do that. You all want to know what I think is going to cause it? It's got to be the old song, A Family Affair. It's got to start at the head where the police are fighting against it, where the communities are fighting against it, where the mother and fathers are fighting against it, where the school is fighting against it. And the church got to fight against it, too. We can't sit there and just think it's just one person's thing. We've got to come together. We've got to come together as communities, not just the African-American community, because a lot of this is being said that is happening in the African-American communities. When the other communities are saddened and heard enough about it that they want to get involved in it, then that's when this thing gets to be important, because you can't just say because I'm white, it affect me. Because I'm Chinese, it doesn't affect me. Because I'm Japanese, because I'm African American, but I don't live in that community, it doesn't affect me. We've all got to be affected by it and understand that it's causing a problem with our communities. And so until we do that, we're wasting our time about what can we do. We've got to have it go from the top to the bottom, fighting about it, saying this is ridiculous. Kyra, I'm going to get you for a second, but this is what a young man said. His name was George Burton. He's 20 years old. He says, among those playing basketball in the court, this is Mayor Emanuel going there, George Burton was there, 20 years old. He says, I have to watch my back every day because I don't want to get killed. He's 20, and he's got to say, I got to watch my back every day because I don't want to get killed. He says, or shot again. So this means he's got shot before. He says, everybody is trying to help us, but when we need the help, everybody's gone. And he says, and we're by ourselves again. He said, I'm tired of that. So what's happening in this community is that we're doing a lot of talking. I'm going to say churches, we got to really step up. We got to get community leaders again. We got to get people that are going to, fight for this thing. And, as Martin Luther King says, a man back bent down, he'll never be able to be successful. So we've got to fight for it again, to care about it again. I don't know if y'all know if this is a passion of mine, but I don't want to see another 20-year-old dying. I did a funeral one time, and I buried a 16-year-old, and there were 7 graves there for men under the age of 20. We've got to start looking at this as a community problem. It's a Chicago problem. It's an Illinois problem. It's a United States problem, because this happened in other places too. Kyra, I know I said a lot. Girl, talk to me a little bit about what you think we need to do. Brenda, give her that question one more time because she probably forgotten it.
The question was, let's see, where was it? How can we keep guns out of dangerous hands?
One thing that we share with our students in our program is just reality. I personally don't touch guns, one, because they are extremely dangerous. There have been many cases where the guns have gone off on accidents. People have died and shot accidentally. But I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I don't touch a gun, number one, because my fingerprints are on them. I'm held guilty for whatever happens with that gun. A lot of times kids learn best by if you do this then. So that's what I share with kids, because that's what I personally do. And a lot of times we end up saying a lot of different things to students and kids, but at the end of the day, they're watching what we do, and they're listening to how we live our lives. That's how they learn to live theirs. So just share with them why you don't touch guns.
I'm afraid of them. Shoes, honestly, I don't like the way they look. Some people do get into that. I love the way a gun feels, that steel cold feel. I mean, I have seen some people who like that, but I'm like, no, never grew up. And to be honest, I don't think I've never seen a real gun. Don't want to see one neither. I done heard them a lot in Roseland, but I don't want to see them. So.
But I'm going to tell you something, and you all may disagree with this, but it seems like the gun of this century was like cigarettes in the 50s. It's almost like it was so popular, to smoke a cigarette. You were so cool when you had a cigarette. Everybody was on television, and they were just looking around, and, Humphrey Bogart would sit there with a cigarette in his mouth, or one of the bad actors would have a cigarette or a cigar in their mouth, and made it look so popular. Now, the gun is that cigarette now, but it's much more powerful than the cigarette is. We need to get to a point where education is more powerful. It's the hot thing. We need to get to the point where loving each other is the most powerful thing. But I need to get back to something because we only got a couple of more minutes. We're talking about the youth, fear of fun. Who decides? Okay, talk to me. Shango, who decides if the youth this summer are going to have fun or fear? Who do you think that decides that?
Like like we all said, us, the community, like connecting together. I've been looking for other people to connect with, and listening to what Chris said, and listening to the way the young men need to be trained up, and the way he was trained up, and with me, what they say, you have a new life. This is the life I am. My life is led by the Bible. So the community, getting out there, doing the things what we're saying. We're doing yoga. I have young men doing yoga and everything, and learning how to breathe, learning how to think before they react on stuff like that. So like you said, it's the community.
Okay, well, that was one of my questions was, do it really takes a village to raise a child? And we've been talking about it. It does take a village, and I'm not saying taking away from the parents or anything, but you want that extension, that olive branch of the community, the churches, the teachers, the neighbors. But like you said earlier, Rick, the girl got mad at me and cussed me out because I grabbed and saved her child. So it make you want to say, hey, y'all do whatever, but because of who I am, I can't do that.
So, Chris, who decides?
It is the community. It's definitely the community because my brain's not working right now, but I can remember the end half of it when Christ was asked the most important commandment. He said, in the same way as this, love thy neighbor as you love yourself.
You love yourself, yes.
So therefore, it is the community. Mm-hmm. You have to serve your community. And then when people get offended, we have to remember they're not mad at me, because remember Christ said he's going to take on all those burdens. They're not mad at me. They don't reject you. They reject me. No. So we have to just endure that. If you do it, that's why I said, if you do it in love, you'll endure that. The flesh is going to be like, I can't believe you just said that to me. But you're going to do it in love because you say, that kid is safe. Yeah. That child is safe. Just this weekend after the 4th of July, I was watching kids. My neighbors teach me a lot. I don't even know them. I just watch them. And they were shooting off fireworks, and I watched the young man just tearing off the wrappers and throwing them on the ground right in front of his property. Then he walked down the street and started throwing them on the ground in front of other people's property.
I hate that.
I do too. And so I told my daughter, because I have to get my daughter involved because they're going to do what they see. And I said, tomorrow we're going out with a trash can. We're going to sweep both sides of the street. And we went out, and we went on their lawn and ours with a garbage bag, picked up all the wrappers, and we swept the actual street on both sides. And I always tell her, you don't do it because somebody told you. Do it because you see it needs to be done.
Right.
That's the community.
Hey, Kyra, I'm going to go to you before I let you get off the phone. Who do you think that decides if we're going to have fun or fear?
Absolutely the community. We decided. There's no other way but for us to decide it, because we're affected by it if we don't make a decision. We're affected by it now because of the lack of people willing to stand up and make a decision. I'm quite sure Sojourner Truth had a lot of obstacles her way before she took those people on that freedom train, Dr. King, etc. We have a responsibility to be leaders for our generation so that our kids can have peace on the streets.
Amen. Amen. Hey, Nina, talk to me. Who decides?
I'm with the crew. Everybody, we all decide. And I'm not even just going to say the community. I'm going to say we decide, because we're the ones that have the opportunity to do. And so instead of pointing fingers, instead of doing this or that, let's just do. I love that Kyra has the Play Stolen 2 coming out, and with the youth coming and standing against violence and doing things. And we decided that, since Touch have programs going on, why not go and support her play? But let's take our youth and go as well. My church is partnering with us. So there you got a church, you got an organization, you got a community, and we're not just going and doing one thing, but we're going to support her in this Play Stolen too. So that we're coming together, so that it's more than just, well, I'm going to do it in this area, you're going to do it in that area. And even with our programs, I don't care what area you live from. If you can get your kid to our program, and or if we need to find transportation, we'll work it out. We'll make sure that they get there. We'll make sure that they do it, because we want to make sure that as a community, as an individual, we're doing our part. So I say it's on everybody, the community, the church, the police, the teachers, the parents, the aunties, the uncles, the grandmothers, the people that don't got kids and don't got nobody in their family. It's up to everybody.
Well, let me just say this much. I'm going to say this much, and we're going to be talking about this again and again. But I'm going to say this. God has already decided, okay, because it says, my people perish because of a lack of a vision. We don't have a vision anymore. God is now, I'm a preacher now. I don't know if y'all know that now. Let's stay together. But my name is Reverend Rick McCain. God has already made the decision that we can make it. He said we can do exceedingly abundantly more than we can ask or think, but it has to start with God. Now, for those of you all who don't believe in God, then you know that's not something I'm going to deal with right now. But I know that there's a God who made a decision that we can overcome things. That's what Martin Luther King says, we shall overcome. The problem is that we've individually thought we've made it, so we don't care about the other people coming along. And so the communities we could say the communities, but the communities got to look at it individually. I want to grab somebody on my block. If you can't grab somebody on your block, go to the next block. If you can't clean your street, Chris, clean the next street. Think about everybody that you can help. And if somebody will grab a hold of somebody, then we'll all be able to help each other. But the community can do it. The policemen have to do it. They've got to care no matter what's happening. I know you get shot at. I know you're upset. I know you don't think nobody care about you. We do care about you. We do love the policemen. We do care about the policemen. We pray for our policemen. We do everything we can, but you can't give up. You can't stop on it. You can't say that I'm through with it. I'm tired. You've got to be a parent to every child that you see out there. And we as parents, Brenda, I know that woman told you mind your own business, but you got to still keep on going out there. Shango, Nina, Chris, I thank you all for doing what you all do, but we need more Shangos. We need more Ninas. We need more Chris's. We need more Kyras. We need more people that are going to get out there and say, I'm not going to stop. I don't care how many times I fail. If I grab one and I'm successful, then that's the thing. Hey, there wouldn't be a Barack or Obama if one person didn't care. There wouldn't be a Chris if one person didn't care. There wouldn't be a Nina. There wouldn't be a Shango. Shango ain't even told his story about what he's went through. But if it wasn't for Shango, there'd be a lot of people lost out there. This young lady here was writing a book and caring about people and talking to people. If she didn't care about somebody, it wouldn't be anybody. We got Tracy here, hasn't even talked to anybody. She's raising 4 beautiful girls. All of them graduated. We've got to care again. We cannot stop caring about each other. Where there is no vision, the people perish. And what's happening to us is that we all have a vision, but we don't bring it together. And so we've got to work it out. I went on my soapbox there. Giddy up, giddy up. I went on it. Baby, you got a couple of things you want to say before we get off the air, don't you?
Yeah, quick announcement. I want to say a special thank you go out to Mike and Linda at Abbott's Printing Service in South Holland, Illinois. This company always delivered with great quality service. I also want to like us on Facebook.
Yes.
Follow us on Twitter. Connect with us on our website page to understand more about what the Let's Stay Together Talk Radio Show stand for. You could meet us there at letsstaytogethershow.webs, webs.com, or Instagram us a picture so we can post you on our website and whatever you are doing to help the youth this summer, because as little as Chris, Nina, and Mr. Shango know, I'm looking for some pictures to post, okay? And no laughter, okay?
I know that's right.
Okay, then.
Did you got something you want to say real quick? 30 seconds.
Actually, not for me. Kyra had, she was going to give away 2 tickets to your listeners.
2 tickets to the listeners.
Yes, but
Kyra, hold on to those tickets. We're going to do it next week.
Yeah, because we have to have a caller to come in.
We have to call to come in and get it. So we're going to do that next week. Hey, we got about 1 minute left. We were talking about today youth violence, fear, fun or fear. Who decides? We've got to keep on working together. I want to thank my host, Brenda McCain here, our guest here, Shango, Nina, and Chris. I don't know how I'm going to forget Chris. And Tracy. Come here, Tracy.
Tracy couldn't hear today.
Tracy didn't get a chance to talk. Say something. This is Tracy, the producer, to help us out with everything. Hey, we got about, how much we got, man, Trent? We got about 3 seconds? 30 seconds. Hey, 30 seconds. We've got 30 seconds. We thank you all for listening to our first show on UBM, Let's Stay Together radio show. I'm your host, Reverend Rick McCain, along with my baby, my girl, my boo. Get to us next week. Give them real quick what's the subject going to be next week. You've got it, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Whatever the subject is next week, you'll hear it here at 8 p.m. Hey, Trey, do your thing, man. We're off the air. Thank you for listening to our show.